We're talking about psychic attacks and energy vampires today. So I've been seeing a lot of this lately, and it's very much because of what's happening on the Earth plane right now. We're ascending, we're going through this beautiful stage of many people coming online and stepping into their gifts, and we're actually in a time where we're safe and able to do clearing for our ancestors and that kind of thing. So, when we're talking about psychic attack and energy vampires, we're not talking like the horror movie scenarios here. We're talking about energy dynamics that occur when our consciousness is either, fragmented, we haven't done all of our healing, a little bit disconnected from our original blueprint. So it can leave us a little bit susceptible to attacks. And often we come to the understanding that when we're going to a healer, that they are of the highest light, but just always feel into it and feel into what feels right for you. Because as with anything, there's some that are in it for themselves or monetary gain, things like that. So just something to be aware of, like you would with anything else. Like when you're shopping at the store, like when you're looking at different practitioners, doctors, for example, that kind of thing. So just really feel into it. So when someone hasn't really integrate all of their unresolved aspects, they can unconsciously siphon energy from others. So this would be the energy vampire. And a lot of people don't know that they're doing this. Some is intentional, but some is you're unaware of it. Just like when, if you have enough dense energy that you're directing towards another, you can place a spell on them, place a hex on them just by sending them that energy. So we're coming into a time where need to be more aware of our energy and really feel into what is ours and what is not ours. So, what does a psychic attack actually feel like? So often it's you're just drained, you're tired after interacting with somebody. You feel a lot of anxiety and it doesn't feel like it's yours. So check in and ask. You can start to have self-doubt feelings, head pressure, tightness in your heart, feeling off without any sort of reason. And again, a lot of the time, these psychic attacks aren't intentional, but some are. Um, we want to feel into our solar plexus, into our heart. So if we're feeling any pressure within there, that can also be a very strong sign that we're being attacked. There can be different things like we'll clear today, which are siphons, hooks, and drains, and that's cords as well, which can connect to another person so they can receive more energy. So it's not inherently evil. It's just a bit of an imbalance with meaning expansion. So how do we tell if an energy vampire is draining us? You can look for the patterns. Again, you feel energized before you talk to somebody, or maybe you stepped into a space, for example, a crystal shop or even a secondhand shop where there's a lot of overpowering energies. But if you feel depleted after, this can be a good sign. They often feed off our attention, our validation. So if it's a friend who shows up and all of a sudden they're a little bit different today, they may be just reaching to you for your energy. At the subtle body level, it's really, you can feel the crown pressure, the sudden confusion, and loss of clarity after that contact. So, psychic attacks and energy vampires, I can tell you a little bit of my experience with it. So, I often feel that ball of anxiety right in my solar plexus area. I'm like, okay, that is noted. And I begin to feel overwhelming, dense emotions. Like maybe I feel suddenly angry when that's not my normal demeanor, but it feels very powerful and it feels almost like it wants to jump right out. And things just start to go wrong. If you're seeing a few things that you're like, okay, you know, my bank account dipped under, went into my line of credit. That's strange. That shouldn't have happened. And then, you know, your daughter's in a grumpier mood and different things like that are going wrong on your drive to school. It's more difficult. You're forgetting things, that kind of thing. That is often a sign of an energy attack.